Okay, double honors to the elders. Just checking real quick. Yeah, Khan. To the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom also to the 1/3 Israelites, which include the Judah's children, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Indians, who are still oppressed together according to the book of Jeremiah 50 and 33, but to whom Saleh pertained the adoption, the giving of the law, the promises, the glory, and the covenants, according to the book of Romans chapter 9, if you don't know. Okay, and today we will continue in part 2 of there is not just enough but way too far evidence on the Bible's accuracy and also the Bible's basically that the Bible is true. Alright, there's more than enough proof. Stone columns on both sides of the Red Sea. When Mr. Villette arrived at Neviba Beach, he soon found evidence that this was in fact the very spot where Moses and his followers crossed the Red Sea. A huge stone column was found lying in the water, and the inscription had long been washed away. But an identical column found across the Red Sea had Hebrew writing giving glory to the God of Israel, who delivered his people to the Red Sea. It is believed that King Solomon erected those columns as a permanent memorial of the Exodus. The identical column found on the opposite side of the Red Sea is along the coast of the ancient land of Midian, which is now Saudi Arabia. Villette reasoned that if this were truly the site of the Red Sea Exodus, there could be evidence in the waters. What he was about to find was truly remarkable. Chariot wheels. Villette reasoned that if this were truly the site of the Red Sea Exodus, there could be evidence in the waters. What he was about to find was truly remarkable. Villette began investigating on the water off the coast of Neviba Beach. One of the first things he found was a beautiful gold-plated chariot wheel, very fragile but clearly visible in the clear waters of the Red Sea. Okay, and you better expect the Egyptians having golden wheels and things like that on their chariots, right? Because they had these treasures, which you can get also out of the sea today even, so they had a big sea going to their land, right? So that shows you that they got riches from the sea, okay, stored, okay, they had that stored in the kingdom, right? Because they had all their wealth. Most of their wealth came to the fact that they had basically, compared to other lands and countries, they had basically a sea, which is the Nile. Okay, the Nile. I don't know the English term. Let me get that. Okay. But you know what sea it was, one of, if not the biggest sea, I believe, even today, or river, you would say, okay. Or the Nile, okay, river in Africa, one of the world's oldest surviving place names, from a Semitic root, Nahal River, unnamed in Old Testament. It is always merely the river, okay. Yeah, Nile or Nil in German, in the German tongue, okay. So of course they got their riches and their wealth from the Nile, or Nil, how you say it, but I believe Nile. And maybe the pharaoh even had like golden wheels from real gold, some percentage, and the other chariots were with normal wheels. We don't know, but as it says here, you see, we will read that sentence again. One of the first things he found was a beautiful gold-plated chariot wheel, very fragile but clearly visible in the clear waters of the Red Sea. Okay. Later, Villette and his sons found numerous other man-made artifacts and chariot wheels. The shapes of the battle debris were still intact because coral had attached themselves to the wood, preserving evidence of the historical accuracy of the Bible account of the Exodus and the destruction of Pharaoh's army. Estimated to be as many as 215,000 soldiers and horse-drawn chariots. 4, 6, and 8-spoked wheels were found in the Red Sea. These wheels were typical of the wheels used in the 18th dynasty at the time of Moses and the Red Sea. Exodus. Corral attached themselves to the remains of the chariots and preserved them for 3,500 years. Okay. 4 and 6 spoked wheels from the 5th dynasty of Egypt, typical chariot wheel from the 18th dynasty of Egypt, the time of Moses and the Exodus. Wyatt recovered the hub of a wheel with the remains of 8 spokes and gave this significant find of hint to Nazif Mohammed Hassan, director of antiquities in Cairo. Mr. Hassan immediately identified the artifact as a chariot wheel dating over 3,500 years ago during the 18th dynasty, the only time the ancient Egyptians used an 8-spoked wheel. You see, the hub and spokes are on display in Cairo, Egypt. God provided an underwater bridge. Wyatt also discovered that there was an underwater causeway or land bridge stretching from the shores of Neviba Beach across the deep waters. This remarkable escape route provided by God is nearly 200 yards wide. The land bridge provided by the Lord for his people slopes gently down to almost 900 feet below the water before going back to the other side. Imagine walls of water 900 feet high. Little wonder that Pharaoh's army was totally destroyed. That remarkable underwater land bridge is still there. Horse bones found underwater. Okay. You can see all these pictures, of course. Horse bones discovered in the Red Sea of Neviba Beach. Many human and horse bones have been recovered from the bottom of the Red Sea. What greater evidence is there that an army was destroyed by water? Who would have ever thought that such significant evidence would be preserved for nearly 3,500 years? Guess who? The real Hebrew Israelites, okay, the hopeful elect, starting with the elders and apostles, believed that, okay, used the word, commented that, and everybody who thinks that we are the Hebrew Israelites, that the bottom of the Red Sea was little red like a junkyard. Confirmation of Wyatt's discoveries was made by Dr. Leonard Moller, who has all of the credentials to verify discoveries. An excellent book and DVD are available, detailing recent scientific research that has verified Mr. Wyatt's discoveries. The Exodus case is available at Amazon. Okay, the DVD, The Exodus Revealed is also available at Amazon. The Exodus case, see, the Exodus Revealed. Of course, you have, as I said, to pick out the good stuff, because they show you strange pictures, strange people, and strange teachings, even in especially DVDs and things like that. The real Mount Sinai. Finding the crossing site was the key in location. The real Mount Sinai in the land of Midian. For hundreds of years, people thought that Mount Sinai was located at the southern tip of the Sinai Peninsula. The Bible clearly teaches that the real Mount Sinai is in the land of Midian. Galatians 4:25 even declares that Mount Sinai is in Arabia. On the opposite side of the Gulf of Aqaba, which is part of the Red Sea, and we will go into that real quick. Okay, because if people don't use the King James Version, or if they can say that they use the King James Version, you have to check it double, okay, because it can be a different word there, okay, because the translation always goes into English, but is translated from Hebrew text, okay. The King James Version uses a special text, okay, which is the best known text. For example, the Cambridge University uses the text, or the King James Version Bible, for example, okay, and also people in Germany who have any kind of idea what the Bible really teaches. Galatians 4:25, and it really is the case. For this Agar is Mount Sinai in Arabia, and answer to Jerusalem, which is now and is in bondage with her children. Now we go to the Red Sea real quick. Red Sea maps. Okay, and here you have the Red Sea, of course. Somewhere here they went over the sea. Here's Egypt, of course, you know, so they fled, of course, from here to somewhere here, where the Mount Sinai is. Okay, Mount Sinai, we will get it also, then you will see. Another proof is, for example, the Ark of, not the Ark of the Covenant, Salakia. The Ark of Noah was also found, you see. And this is Sinai. Okay, here again the Red Sea. Wait. Can't. Okay, the Red Sea. Here you have Sinai. Okay. So it's basically more above or on the top. Okay, basically somewhere here. Here, basically. Okay, Sinai Peninsula. Can't, because this is because you have here these people here, Sudanese people are the Egyptians, okay? Sudanese people. If you ask a normal farmer, okay, where he comes from, he will answer you that he is from Egypt, okay? Just because you have these, I don't know, Arabians there, doesn't mean that this is their city or so, or their land or so, okay? Can't. Okay, here you have it again. The Red Sea, Mount Sinai. Okay, and forget these people who say like, oh, the earth is flat or so, you know. The Bible tells us in the scriptures that it is more like a ball, okay? The ball and things like that, okay? Like the Elders and Apostles said, I believe. Okay, here you have it again. And it really looks realistic, right? You know, just like you have these older pictures here, of course, also. Okay, not this, but older pictures, you know. Okay, I'm not so good at maps. I have not so much knowledge about, you know, places and things like that, but I have much knowledge about the scriptures, and the scripture clearly tells you where certain places are, right? And that's what you have to learn then also, you know. For example, like I showed you, okay, you should know, for example, that the Israelites crossed the Red Sea, okay? Exodus 15:4, Pharaoh's chariots and his host had he cast into the sea, his chosen captains also are drowned in the Red Sea. Drowning is a really harsh death. Psalms 106 and 7. Our fathers understood not thy wonders in Egypt. They remembered not the multitude of thy mercies, but provoked him at the sea, even at the Red Sea. Okay, because they say like, oh, we had onions and flesh in Egypt, you know, why Yahweh brought us out of there. You know, we have just this manna from heaven to eat and things like that. And this, I believe, even was tasting good, man. Okay, but they, just like today, you know, oh, we have what is it? We get better jobs, we get better what is it? I have more friends if I'm not in the truth and things like that. They have plenty of reasons why they, you know, prefer Egypt, which is actually not even the case, because you will have real friends if you are in the truth. And those who are really your friends, they will stay your friends, okay, even if you are in the truth. But guess what? You have to depart from them, not the other way, okay? Because you know, what likeness, you know, light and darkness has nothing to do with each other, basically, you know. Scripture tells you, okay, not saying, you know, for example, I play a game, okay, on a game basically, where I have to do with all the friends, and also, you know, sometimes fight with people that are not in the truth, things like that. That's of course okay, even if it's not your job and things like that, because you don't know who these people are, man. Maybe they will come in the truth, okay, but you know, these people who once were in the truth and then go out, you know, these are different kind of people, man. You know, that's crazy, man. Negative way, because you know, that brings punishment if you know, go out the truth and then in again. And some people even do that often, man. Often, more than one time, okay? Going in the truth and then out, then in, then out. Crazy, man. Numbers 33 and 10. And they removed from Elim and encamped by the Red Sea. Psalms 106 and 22. Wondrous works in the land of Ham, and terrible things by the Red Sea. As I said, you know, letting all the army of Egypt drown, okay, these Hamites, okay, that's why it says the land of Ham, okay, that's how we also know that Africa is basically kind of like the land of Ham, okay, not America, you know, and that the Israelites were mostly on these slave ships, okay, because it says land of Ham, man, okay, because Israel is no longer really in Africa, right? The real Israel, which is still the middle of the map if you check it. Okay, I will prove it to you. Okay, check that out. Israel maps, Israel world map. Okay. Again, not saying that this is some flat Earth or theory or so, but if you would look at a flat Earth, you have Israel right in the middle. You see, there you go. It's right in the middle. Okay, but that's just some side info. Khan, Psalms 136 and 13. To him which divided the Red Sea into parts, for his mercy endured forever. Okay, Hebrews 11 and 29. By faith they passed through the Red Sea as by dry land. Because you have to imagine they was standing before the Red Sea and they had no way out, man, okay? The Pharaoh and his army is coming, and they were thinking like, oh, now we will die here, man. Okay, because if you have this big sea before you, what you gonna do? You cannot build boats that fast, things like that. But guess what, man? Okay, and I will not make this too long, but I will show you something. You see, you see it just like on these pictures, man, like this, man, and then the Red Sea was open, okay, open. Okay, how beautiful is this, man? Okay, you know, they think they have no way out, and then Yahweh makes or basically Yahweh to Moses, okay, divides basically the sea, man. Okay, how heavy is this, man? Just imagine how you know the fresh water, you know, the beautiful water. It's basically like a wall right now, okay, but without a glass or something. Okay, that's the power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Okay, like you can see it here, for example. So you walking there one time and then saying you want back to Egypt, it's basically the same as you would say I wanna die, because you saw all this power from Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, but you're still gonna, you know, that's just different kind of, you know, wicked. Let me say it like that, okay? Because you saw all these powers, you know, what really powers we have today, you know, to see, oh, Yahweh is really making our serious, you know. Of course, the Bible is, I say to you right now, right there, the power is the Bible. Look at the Bible, how much is true, how much evidence is still here. That's why I made also these two lessons, these this two-part lesson, okay, to show you there's too much proof of the Bible, okay. So anyway, with that, all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai Hashem Bakadosh Baruch Hu. And you know, with that, but of course not too much, you know, because if it would be too much, then Esau Edom had even more difficult time to remove all the evidence, and then it would be not possible at some point. But it was possible to remove at least some of it. So, you know, not the last cave monkey will get it, okay? Because if it's too much proof, even the last cave monkey of cave monkeys will get it, that the Bible is real, okay? So Yahweh made it, the same one who created Esau, Edom, and the other heathens and the Israelites, okay, that there is actually really, really much evidence out there, but not too much, you know? Just imagine if, you know, just imagine if Yahweh Shai would be here today, okay? The wonders he would do and things like that, okay? Kiss the sun. Okay, it's just evident then, okay, right? But with that, all praises to Yahweh Hashem Kokodash, okay, and stay in this faith, you know, because it will give you, or it will lead to wonders like this, man, okay, even crazier in a positive way in these days, okay, Shalom.